How's it going, guys? It's Tyron here, and today we're back here with Heart Fragment. Now this game is a demo. It's not coming out to early next year or late this year. They're not too confident of which one it's going to be yet. But I read the description of the game and it actually sounds quite decent. So I'm actually quite eager to be bringing this to you guys. So let's kick off the show. A quick question before we begin. Have you played the previous version of the demo? If so, you can skip to the new content immediately. I'll play from the beginning, because I haven't played the previous one. Very well then. Lana, read my story.
Alright. What story do you want to hear this time?
Little Red Riding Hood.
That one again? Are you sure?
I'm assuming this childish voice is meant to be us. Please?
You sure love Little Red, don't you? Is she your favorite?
Yeah. The young child was 8 already, but she still loved hearing stories.
Will scare you?
Nuh-uh, I'm scarier than him. Rawr. And such an imagination.
You caught me! You're such a brave little girl, aren't you? Come on onto my lap. I'll read the book for you.
Yay, story time. Lana, when is mommy coming home?
Oh, it is about time for her to get back, isn't it? Don't worry, I'm sure she'll be home soon.
Oh, that's not a sound you want to hear after that dialogue. Oh shit, man. Welcome to Heart Fragment. Before we get started, type in the name you'd like to be called, press enter, or simply press enter to use the default name Xani. I'll keep the default name. Please let us begin. Mom, no! Again, another dream. It's always the same. You didn't witness the death firsthand, but images that flash through your head at night are so vivid, as though you had been there. It seemed like it didn't matter how many times the dream occurred, you always wake up in sweat, frightened and shaking. You kicked off the covers in your sleep again too. You can never fall asleep without them on. It's as if they're your protection. Without them wrapped around your body, you feel defenseless. But you always wake up only half covered, with no blankets on the bed at all. It seems you toss in your sleep a lot, maybe because of disturbing dreams that plague your mind the moment your rest begins. Times like this make you feel lucky to have any siblings to share your room with, or friends to visit often to spend the night. The one person you really did consider a friend knew nothing about these dreams. You stayed over a few times with her, but always kept yourself awake through the night. There was no point in sleeping when the results would always be the same. Nightmares, tossing and turning, maybe even screaming when you awoke. It would just scare and worry her needlessly. The setting of the dream never changes, it always takes place on the day of your mother died. Sometimes you feel like you're in the crash yourself, but if you are like you are a passenger in the vehicle crashing off the side of the bridge to your death along with her. Other times you float above the little red car, screaming at her to avoid the oncoming traffic that's crashed along with her. If only your dreams would reach her. If only if it wasn't in your mind. If only if things could have been different. If only. If it wasn't fair she died. It wasn't fair she disappeared into the water below, knocked out from the impact and drowning as a result. It wasn't fair how the driver of the truck that hit her wasn't even found at the scene. They probably lived to get out of their vehicle and ran away without a scratch. The truck in the crash had been reported stolen earlier that day. They couldn't trace it back to anyone. We wanted to blame someone for the incident. What we had to blame was a faceless, nameless person in the stolen truck. It wasn't fair. How long has it been now? 10 years, huh? 10 years since her death. Okay, so she's now 18. You were only a kid when she died. Years have passed, and you want to just forget about it. But the nightmares wouldn't let you. They forced you to continue grieving. Your eyes wander over to your phone next to your pillow. You click the home button and check the time. Damn it, why didn't my alarm go off? I'm going to be late. You hurriedly jump out of bed, tossing your pajamas off and your favorite outfit on. You want to comb through your hair as quickly as possible, brush your teeth and rush down the hall to get breakfast. You're a lazy girl. You can barely hold back a hiss at Gary's gruff voice as you enter the room. You think after all these years, you'll at least be used to your father, but you still can't stand him. Just the sight of his face makes you angry. Sometimes you wonder why he even bothered to take you in after your mum's death. He's the one that left in the first place. If he wants to be in your life at all, why don't he just stay from the start? Okay, speak your mind, be blunt. Be polite for now. You ignore his rude remark. Sure, your relationship has always been bad, but it will never improve by speaking harshly at every chance that you get. Good morning, Dad. I'm sorry I'm late. I'll take some fruit and head off quickly. Yes, well, good. You have a good day. He seems shocked by your response. You can't blame him. You'd be shocked too if he suddenly woke up kindly towards you without reason. You have to admit it's a bit amusing to see him look so flustered though. Turn your attention away from him. You grab an apple from the corner and your lunch from the fridge. Your father watches you. You can feel his eyes following your movements. He isn't as piercing gaze as by any means. More like he's trying to figure out what to say to you. Even so, you find yourself feeling frustrated that he doesn't speak up. Standing there in silence just makes him seem a fool. But then again, he is a fool, isn't he? A damn fool. Still, the flustered reaction you got out of him by ignoring his early rudeness makes you want to smirk in amusement. Bye, Dad. You wave goodbye to your shocked-looking father. He seems so surprised by your sudden kindness towards him they can't even say goodbye. He raises his arm into the end and an awkward wave back to you, and you shut the door behind you as you leave. Okay. You've always hated school. Who doesn't really? It is boring, it is stressful, it brings out anxiety when tests are coming up, the teachers are impossible to deal with and the classmates are even worse. Not the ideal learning environment. Although you only have a few more months of classes left to get your high school degree, it still feels too much time. Even so, there is one class that you love, history especially this year. It has grown to be your favourite subject. Your teacher really knows how to make class enjoyable. The assignments are fun, even when the topic is boring. She always helps get people involved, so that no one feels that they're being left out. She seems good at reading someone's mood, and deciding when learning approaches is the best for them. Some people learn best on their own, others learn in groups. Some people learn best from reading. Others absorb more information if they're listening. A lot of teachers could do well to learn from her teaching style. But even without your teacher, you always found history a good subject. There are more interesting things that have happened in the past. To keep things as fun as possible sometimes, the teacher would give the class bonus assignments to help raise their grades. Those bonuses would be interesting topics that anyone could really get into. One of the ones he did was the history of tattoos, famous musicians throughout history, strange events in history that no one can explain. Okay. If it was me, I'm more likely to do this one. Learning about the history of tattoos is pretty neat. Nowadays people seem to associate with tattoos with rebels, and tattooed people are even encouraged to hide the ink on their body. Tattooing dates back many years through history though. It both is and was an important part of many cultures, with meanings for tattoos varying between their cultures. For example, Borneo, I think that's how you pronounce that, women tattooing symbols on their forearms to indicate particular skills. Egypt was similar, where women's tattoos indicated status. If I ever got a tattoo, I'd like it to be a flower, or maybe a butterfly. A dragon would be pretty cool. I was gonna get a tattoo anyway. Might as well go big and get something that would really stand out. A dragon would be awesome. I bet people would admire me if I had something badass like that on my skin. You glance around nervously. It isn't something you'd like to admit. The idea of fitting in with everyone makes you happy. Thank God no one saw you smiling to yourself. But I guess I'm that kind of person that gets carried away when it comes to history. I can hardly remember my own birthday. Is it August sometime? When it comes to historical events, they come to me with ease. When you arrive at school, you begin looking around and search for your best friend Shannon. Best friend might be a bit of an understatement. Only friends would probably be more accurate. It wasn't that you didn't speak to other people. You tried sometimes though, mostly when prompted by Shannon. People were always polite. We never got the impression that they actually wanted to be around you. It was more politeness of obligation. But you can relate to that way of thinking. To be polite at least to be the best of your ability, because in the past you had people react as though you were being rude despite your efforts. But it was mostly a front. People in general are annoying creatures. They pretend to like you but talk negatively behind your back. That is everyday life, unfortunately. That's how it seems at the very least, so why bother with it? Becoming friends with them is pointless. In fact, you probably wouldn't have even bothered Shannon if it wasn't for her pushiness. Others seem content to talk to you in short conversations once in a while and then stayed acquaintances. But you met Shannon soon after you moved as a kid, shortly after your mother's death. This kid was high-strung, pushy and annoying, the exact kind of person you'd keep your distance from. But she insisted you become friends, approaching you from day after day. It's annoying at first, we can't really pinpoint when things changed. Somehow you find yourself looking forward to chats with her. And somewhere along the line you became friends. You still wonder sometimes why Shannon wanted to be friends with you. You try to think of some reason to explain it, but none really came. Maybe she felt like you were challenged, that becoming friends with you would be some kind of achievement. What other explanation could there be? Shannon was pretty and sweet, and naturally flirtatious personality. Her eyes are bright and dazzling, seemed to sparkle when she smiled. When was it that you started to find these features about her endearing rather than annoying? Nowadays, you approach Shannon just as much as she approaches you. It was a mutual friendship. We were never much for chatting, so conversations are mostly one-sided. Shannon would talk on and on while you hummed and oh'd every once in a while. There were occasional questions how your day went too, and your answers were usually brisk. She didn't seem to mind your quietness, and was content to talk while you listened. Opposite attract, they say. And that was certainly the case in your friendship. We'd never admit it out loud, but you really enjoyed her company. You know Shannon a little ways in the distance, standing next to a boy you've seen her talking to a few times recently. She seems busy. Probably talk to them, to be fair. I guess you are still friends. You decide to talk to her anyway. As you approach her though, you hear the boy with her start to talk. So Shannon, we've been talking for a while now, and you probably shouldn't interrupt. It looks like she's having a good time, and judging by the atmosphere going on between her and the guy, she's probably about to make a move. You sigh and walk into the building, leaving her be. You decide it's probably best to keep walking. You can talk to her later. Okay, I probably made the wrong choice then. School passes by, same as ever. Math? Boring. Science? Meh. English? Learning about poetry. Art? Got a new assignment. Draw a sketch of someone close to you. Close to you? Probably Shannon. The day drags on. You're so glad you're graduating this year. 18 years old, it feels like you're ready for things beyond this. Finally, the last class of the day arrives. History. You plug down to your desk. As tired as you are, you find yourself a bit excited. Today is a new bonus assignment day. You're excited to hear what bonus will be assigned this day. While bonus assignments are optional, almost everyone does them, and they give a small boost in your grade. They're especially helpful for those who aren't too fond of history and have a low grade to begin with. Your grade is above average, but you've never missed out on doing one of the bonuses. They're always interesting anyway. Your teacher steps into class and heads to the chalkboard. She looks excited. She always seems happy on the bonus day, maybe because everyone in class gets more excited on them as well. Whenever they're excited, naturally things become more enjoyable. The bonus assignment is given out at the end of the class, and you wait patiently for the moment to come. The teacher comes through the usual greetings before swiftly jumping into today's subject. Class goes by quickly, and before you know it, the end has come. Alright everyone, time for the new bonus assignment. This one is fun, and a rather interesting one too. This week's theme is family history. That's right, your assignment is to write about your own family's past. Same minimum length as always. I encourage you to look as far back into your history as you can to get the most out of your assignments. It'll be due in 2 weeks. You feel your heart leap into your chest, and not out of excitement. In fact, it'd be better to describe as a leap followed by a sinking feeling. Family, history, that's a difficult one. Think about your family. There's your father, your mother who died. Who else was there? You don't know nothing about your family's past. You never met your grandparents. You hadn't even met your father until your mother's funeral. Is there anything you could write about? Maybe you could make something up, but something suddenly occurs to you. You've never actually asked your father about your family's history before. Would he talk about it if you asked? Maybe you should give it a shot. But, the thought of approaching your father to talk about your family is painful just to think about it, let alone do. When he even bothered to tell you anything, he might even just laugh. Never know. You head straight home after school. You have plans to meet with Shannon over the weekend, so you see her then. When you open the door to your house, you hear the TV blaring from the living room. You remove your shoes and slam the door behind you, alerting your father to your presence. The TV show tones down a bit. Xana, that you? Yeah, it's me. Ignore him and nothing. Nah, try to bond with him, man. You call out to him, letting him know you're home. Yeah, it's me. Come to the living room, alright? You let your school bag slump off your shoulder onto the ground, then you head over to the living room. Your father's sitting on the couch, the smell of his cigarettes lingering in the air. He motions to you to sit beside him. You sigh, but sit beside him anyway. Thank you, Xana. I noticed you were making an effort this morning. And I need to start making more of an effort too. Things have been difficult between us, but I do want to be a family. I can't make up for the things that I did in the past, but I promise to try harder in the future. That aside though, tell me about your day. How was school? Great, he was trying to bond again. Fine. Any new projects? Anything interesting? Yeah. He sits, waiting for you to continue. You're probably not going to be able to head back to your room until you finish this conversation, so might as well get it over with. Art and history needs to draw someone close to me and write about my family history. Your family history, huh? Are you curious about your family history? His eyes actually seem to light up with this genuine interest when you bring that topic up. Does that mean he actually wants to talk about it? He's eyeing you curiously, as if you're trying to predict how you respond. Not really, I'm sure it's all boring anyway. You won't give him the satisfaction. Ha, far from boring. That's an uncharacteristic chuckle. You have anything interesting to say? Yeah, right. Alright, go ahead and tell me how interesting we are. Can't do that. The serious tone returns to his voice. There was a small grin in his face as soon as though he had something he had really wanted to tell you. He's so annoying. That stupid grin, the way he makes it seem like there's something he wants to say, then he goes quiet. You get the feeling that he wants to pester you, wants you to pester him for it. Just tell me so that I can go to my room. I wish I could, girl, I wish I could. He shakes his head, letting out a sigh. You have to make something up for your assignment. Fine. It wasn't like it mattered much to you anyway. The cryptic conversation though, you have to admit it made you curious if only just a little. Still, you go to your room, write out a fake story about a loving family you wish existed, and leave it at that. Or at least you should do that. But the longer you thought about it, the more curiosity stung at you. Why did your dad always have to be so annoying? If you hadn't mentioned it, you wouldn't care, but you had, so you did. Finally, you decided to swallow your pride and ask him. Alright, I can tell you're dying to say it anyway. Tell me whatever stupid story you're so interested in telling me. Curious, are you? He grins at you. How aggravating. I'm not curious, I just want to know. Be honest for once, girl. Do you want to know? You let out a long sigh, as well just the truth. Alright, I am curious just a little. Listen, this is a secret, you get it? Your mother really did want that kept a secret until you were older. You feel your heart skip a beat. Mom? There's something to do with your mom? Tell me, please. The way your father is speaking right now, as if he's been waiting for his life for this moment. I plan on keeping this from you for longer. You're old enough now, I think. You gonna keep this a secret? Yeah, I'll keep it a secret. He nods. I'm going to tell you a bit of a story here. It's an interesting one. You might like it, actually. Makes it sound like he's about to tell a fairy tale. A fairy tale, huh? Yeah, that's about how it sounds. Long ago, way before there was a lab. As your father begins his story, you feel a curtain he has pulled back, revealing the image of a tall building. You listen internally. No one truly knows what went inside that lab. But don't know what when people came out, they were no longer human. In all respects to appearance, they were the same, but on the inside they had changed. The lab was experimenting with chemical in hopes of enhancing human ability. Super speed, super strength, increased mental capacity, there we go, telekinesis. It'll bring out power beyond someone's wildest dreams. The lead scientist was desperate for his life's work to be recognized, for the experiment to be a success. And in some ways it was. Those who took part in the experiment's first human trials became unlike anything the world had seen before. Turn the game down a bit. But no success story had happened without its downfall, and an unforeseen side effect occurred. They began to lose their humanity. It only happened in short bursts, but when it did, together with their newfound powers, they became extremely dangerous. And so they were orphanized, I think that's what that is. Their lives ended as humanly as possible. The experiment was marked as a failure. The risk was too great to continue any further. But one man, the lead scientist of the project, escaped. Despite desperate for his project to be a success, for his life's work not to be unnoticed, he created one last attempt at the drug, hoping to remove the side effects. Seemingly, it worked, but it was too late. He was already considered dangerous. So he fled with his family, went into hiding. The man was never found, and was complete silence from him, perhaps proving that he had kept his sanity. Eventually, the search was called off. The third experiment was called to a close and buried. Okay. Okay, ... Well? Have you heard that or something? What? This is a joke, right? Your father sighs. I guess you should have figured that you wouldn't believe it at first. But your belief aside, what did you think? I guess it was actually kind of interesting. It hurts to admit, that's your father, but it is the truth. Well, that's just, what does this have to do with me exactly? I told you it was interesting, but I'm telling you, girl, this is more than just a story. What do you mean? What I mean is that you're one of these creatures, a descendant of that scientist. Yeah, and I guess monsters live under my bed, right? He sighs again. Girl, I'm not joking. Should I continue my story? I guess so. A small number of scientists that worked on the project did find the man who escaped, but they weren't like the others. They vowed to protect him and his family. That also meant protecting any children that these traits were passed on to. But certain complications have been arising. One of those working on the project, someone refused to let go of this. They hunted the lead scientist, found to kill him and his entire family. Why? Because one of the test subjects that were unauthorized was the son. And now, despite the best efforts for those trying to protect him, there's only one left. You. Okay, so assuming I believe all of this makes no sense. You're my dad, what about you? I'm human. A pained look crosses his father's face. You see, that's why I left. When I found your mother was pregnant, I had to protect her and you. That group to protect your kin still exists, but members are even fewer than there used to be. We can't risk the wrong people knowing. My efforts needed to go into keeping you safe, and your mother and I both agreed I could do that better from a distance without putting you at a greater risk of being found. That's your excuse, huh? You scoff. I'll not talk about your mistakes, Dad. Just keep explaining before I leave. Maybe you're right. Maybe now isn't the time to discuss that. But Xani, more important than that, your mother's accident. I and others in the group meant to protect you. Believe it might not have been an accident. You freeze, unsure how to react. What do you mean? You ask this slowly, eyes wide at attention now. I may be wrong. I hope I am. But if I'm not, you should know. There's a possibility that someday you'll be in danger too. I want to protect you, but sometimes worry about how to do that. After returning to your room, you wrote down everything your father told you. What could you do? Was it all true? How could you believe it was just like that? In frustration, you throw your notebook across the room. This was being kept from me all this time, huh? You took your legs against your chest, resting your head on your knees and sighing. Why tell me all of this now? If it's true, why? Why me? You can't help but feel sorry for yourself. Maybe self-isolation is your nature because somewhere deep down, you knew you were different. Jen always tells me I'm good at everything I do, but she's wrong. I'm just a failure. Every time I start to feel a bit normal, something happens. Now I'm just a freak. With a million thoughts about the events from the day running through your head, you took longer than usual to fall asleep. And for once, your usual nightmares didn't come. When you awoke, it was still dark. The words spoken were quiet, just loud enough for them to wake you up from your sleep.
Are you awake?
Okay, that's not fucking creepy at all.
Wake up. This is important.
Pull the covers up over you. Dad? You call out into the darkness. Dad, you there?
Shh. Not so loud. You'll wake Gray.
Oh shit, it's not Dad.
My name is Kay. I'm sorry if I frightened you.
You didn't frighten me. That was a lie. A voice was calling out to you in the dark. It wasn't one you recognized. Of course you were scared. We weren't going to let some random person, predator or not, know that you were that they were frightening you. If they were malicious, that would just give them more reason to continue, right?
All right, if you say so. Sorry about that. I promise I'm not here to hurt you.
Why the fuck are you in my house?
I'm here to warn you, actually.
You feel your heart beating in your chest and look over towards the sound of the voice. Out the large window, you can just barely make out an outline of someone in the moonlight. Who is he? Why is he here? Speak out just loud enough for the voice to hear you, but don't drop your guard. The mysterious voice does frighten you. Warn me? About what?
You're in danger. Really big danger. You can't tell anyone who you are. You may not know me, but I know you. And I promise you, if you tell anyone about the things you learned today, things will go wrong. There's someone after you. His name is Jasper.
I thought that was us talking. After you? What?
Please be careful. One wrong move and things will go terribly, terribly wrong.
Xani? Who are you talking to? Your father's voice suddenly calls from out of the hall. The mysterious voice drops into a whisper. The bare minimum, you can hardly hear it now.
I have to go now. Take care of yourself, okay? I'll be back again soon. Be careful.
You hear a faint sound like someone jumping down to the ground outside, and the footsteps running away. You glance out your window just in time to see a shadow ringing off. And you're left in the darkness, confused. The fuck is happening? The next day is a Saturday. You wake up and head down to the kitchen. Good morning, girl. Morning. On weekends, your father insists you eat breakfast together. It is usually a quiet, awkward occasion that makes you want to rush through your meal and go back to your room. It takes you a while of thinking it over before you decide to speak. You know, I had a voice talking to me last night. Your father looks at you surprised with a twinge of fear in his eyes. A voice? What did it say? That I'm in danger? Your father's breathed a sigh of relief. Ah, okay. What? Who exactly is Kay? I should have expected he'd come when he heard I told you the truth. He's a member of the group I mentioned, the one I'm meant to protect you. To be specific, Kay is the youngest member. None of us really know how he came to know of our group or about you. He's a mysterious boy, but has good intentions, and we're going to trust him. How does he know about me? Probably more than you know about yourself. Your father chuckles softly. Did you mention anything specific about this danger? You mentioned someone called Jasper. He nods. Kay rushes ahead of us at times, but I suppose it's best for us that he told you. No matter what you do though, you do need to stay away from Jasper. Don't ever trust him. Xani, I suppose I may as well introduce you to the group. I need to speak to them first, but if you can meet me there in about 4 hours, that'd be great. I'll draw a little map so you know where to meet. Your father scribbles a little map on a piece of paper and then passes it over to you. You study it for a few moments. His drawing is a bit messy, but it's also easy to decipher what he means. You nod. I'll be there. After 4 hours from the time your father headed out, you take the map from your pocket and follow it to the address your father gave. It is located in the back alley. It looked more like a shed than anything else. It didn't appear to be in use. The building is small, with a metal sliding and a rusty old door. You jiggled the door a few times. Nothing. You jiggle it again. Whoa! You gasp in surprise at the stuck doorknob suddenly gives away. And fly into the small room, bumping into someone without warning. Sorry. You mumble in embarrassment as you brush yourself off. The door was stuck. Xani? You turn around towards the voice of the person who bumped into you. He's a bit shorter than you, with red hair. He smiles at you. I'm Kay. Oh. You recognize his voice in the moment you heard as the one you heard last night. He's rather cute, with soft red hair and a nice smile. He's a bit shorter than you. While he stood about 5 feet 4 inches, Kay was closer to 5 feet actually, maybe a bit less. If he was a guess, you'd assume he would be around your age. Nice to meet you. You reach your hand out to shake his, but he doesn't offer his hand in return. He just keeps smiling. I'm glad you came, Xani. Your father sits at a desk in the back of the room. Welcome. Aside from your father and Kay, there is one other person in the room. He's an older man, a bit pudgy, wearing a tacky cowboy hat. Your father smiles. He gestures over to the pudgy-looking man in the hat. This is Dexter. Nice to finally meet you, Xani. Nice to meet you too. I'm glad you know everyone now. Unfortunately though, we have to cut this short. We can't be here too long. I just wanted you to know who her friendly faces are to look for. Okay. Your father walks over to you and puts an arm around you. For once, you don't pull away. He smiles at you, happily to be united with you once more. Well, let's go home, alright? Sure. Wave goodbye to everyone. Dexter seemed friendly, and Kay did too. As self-associated as you has always been, you're surprised by the feeling that maybe, just maybe, you can all be friends. That night it seemed impossible to fall asleep. Too much has happened over the last few days. You've learned so much, too much really. You don't want to admit it, but it really is frightening. You toss and turn in your bed, but sleep just won't come. You feel like you've been trying to fall asleep for an eternity when you hear a voice.
Are you awake?
Why are you back here? You look around the room but don't see anyone. You don't have to though, you recognize the voice this time. Kay, where are you?
Oh, good. You're awake.
You hear rattling from the window. This time though, you've seen the... wherever that is, of his entire body and he climbs into the room. You feel strangely at ease considering the situation. Why are you here? Is something wrong?
Well, I'm sure to Gray it seems like there's nothing to worry about. Some people worry too much. Gray doesn't worry enough.
I'm gonna turn these down a bit. I can't really hear the voices over the music.
He thinks that not telling you about any dangers will somehow...
Oh shit. If you're not telling you about any dangers will somehow keep you safe from them. I think it'd be safer if you know about the dangers. I think I know what you're talking about, but explain to me anyway. Kay feels the ground for a bit, then sits down for the carpet near you. You glance over at him, and your eyes stop for a moment at the desk alongside the wall. Your drawing pad. Crap, that assignment is due tomorrow, isn't it? You shiver a bit in the cold, at the cold night air blowing through the open window, but you move your covers anyway and grab the drawing pad pencil before sitting across the room from him. Ask if you can draw Kay. This might be kind of a strange question, but well, I have an art assignment due tomorrow and I haven't started it yet. I need to draw someone close to me. Would it be okay if I sketch for you?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I'll be the same, like I wouldn't know what to say either. Don't worry, I can do it. I listen to you at the same time. Talk away. Kay begins to talk, going over all the things that Gray already did as if to underline the dangerous situation you're in. You listen carefully to the tale as you do your drawing, turn to the desk light to help you see a bit better. You sketch the face, doing your best to make it look good. You glance over at Kay. You can't help but think to yourself that his eyes are beautiful. All of his features, his eyes, are the most striking. They're beautiful, light blue, that looks like a river on a bright day. They're pale too, as though clouded over, and the image of water reflecting fluffy, white clouds come to mind. Kay finishes telling this story at the same time you finish your sketch. Yeah, would you like to see my drawing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't.
What do you mean you can't? Huh? Why? Doesn't like seeing himself? He raises his hand in the air, waving in front of his eyes. Oh, he's blind. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize.
It's alright, really. Besides, it isn't like I'm put at much of a disadvantage. I know this town by heart better than anyone else. I can move around pretty easily as long as I observe with my ears.
Were you blind from birth? Say nothing about, can ask him about it. Can I ask, well, were you born from birth? Blind from birth?
Rather not talk about it.
Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. Right, sorry. Here's a new topic. Am I different from you, you know? Because I'm not human?
That's a really great question, actually. I know that you're supposed to have powers, but Gray has never mentioned you actually doing anything, well, powerful. I asked him about it a few times, but he's never given a straight answer about what powers you have.
Alright. Oh, I see. Take a peek at the clock next to your bed. You spent a while with your drawing, and Kay's been in depth in his whatever that word is, of Gray's story, confirming everything Gray said as the truth. You have to wake up just in a few hours. How long are you planning on staying?
Whoops. Is it really late? Sorry, I guess you're tired. I didn't mean to bother you.
No, you're not bothering me, but I am a bit tired.
Okay, I'll get going now.
Kay smiles at you. He has a sweet, kind smile. He stands up and turns away from you, heading back towards the open window. Wait, I have to ask, why did you come here? He turns back around from the window and smiles at you again.
Because I thought it might be a good idea to get to know the person whose life I'm trying to save.
You both laugh softly. You watch him as carefully as he makes his way out the window until only his face is still visible.
Is it alright if I come here again? I don't want to bother you.
You're not bothering me. You can come again if you'd like. I enjoyed talking, actually. I don't really have a whole lot of friends, so it was kinda nice.
Great! Well, then I'll see you again soon, friend.
You lock the window after him. As you glance outside, you notice that he's already gone, just as suddenly as he arrived. With Kay out of sight, you crawl back into bed, putting the sketch you drew down the desk before falling fast asleep. Next day is a Sunday. You have plans to meet with Shannon this weekend. You head over to her house at around noon. Knock on the door in Shannon's house and then wait. It was today you were supposed to meet up, right? Shannon had said Sunday, right? You try knocking again. This time, after a few moments, the door creaks open. Shannon pops her head out.
What are you doing here so early?
We were supposed to meet today, weren't we? It's noon already. Shannon's eyes widen and she opens the door all the way with a surprised look on her face.
Man, I totally slept in. Come in. Come in.
She smiles at you warmly. She's always been a bit of an airhead, but you don't mind. Her smile makes you feel safe as you enter her house. You head up to her room. Shannon plops down on the bed and hugs her favourite stuffed animal, a toy that you won for her years ago at the fair. You had a matching one in your own room. While she smiles suddenly at you, now fully awake.
So I have something I gotta tell you.
What's that? What is it? You lean forward trying to show interest in what she has to say. It isn't that you're not interested, it's just Shannon's news isn't usually something to find interesting.
Okay, so you know Dustin Bladham, right?
No, but carry on. Yes, I know him. You should have expected this was about a boy. Shannon loved boys.
Ask me out!
She flung herself up and punched the air, brown eyes sparkling and blonde hair flying everywhere. You invited me over this weekend so you could tell me that. You sigh. No offense, Shannon, but you have a new boyfriend every month.
No, this one is different.
She protests eagerly.
I really like Dustin. Plus, we've been friends for a long time. I'd never want to hurt him.
You said the same thing about Hunter. Shannon wipes her head over so that she was looking at the wall, then puts on a pouty face.
You don't like my choice in boys, so why don't you leave? Go on, shoo, just leave.
You took her antics. You're such a drama queen.
I am not. Queen sounds so old. If I'm anything, I'm a drama princess.
You laugh and have fun afternoon. What? You laugh and have a fun afternoon hanging out with your friend. Suddenly, a question nags in your mind. Shannon, should have no clue what you meant. But if it was worth asking, right? Shannon, can I ask you something?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever heard of mutant types of humans or anything like that? Why are you mentioning this? Like humans with superpowers?
Movies. But you know I'm not into sci-fi.
You know we're not into sci-fi, Xani. Why are you asking? I don't know why I suddenly coughed like that. Just curious. Of course she doesn't know. Of course she's assumed you meant fiction. It was silly to ask. Look at the clock, as it's already getting towards evening. You have to start walking home before it got too dark. You say your goodbyes to Shannon and head home. Thank you for coming and meeting the team yesterday, girl. Your father speaks to you with a smile. He seems happy as usual. You yawn as you eat your supper, tired from the long walk from Shannon's house and back again. You really weren't in the best shape though. You try to stay active in the walks to school every day. Yeah, no problem. It was nice meeting everyone. That boy Kay. You want to say something about him, but figure it was best not to let your father know Kay has been coming to your window again. Somehow you get the feeling that Kay isn't supposed to be doing that. And besides, telling your father a boy your age is sneaking into your room? That would just be bad news. So you try to word yourself carefully. He seemed nice. Actually, you knew he was nice, but you couldn't very well say that in that way. It was clear Kay had no one's permission to come to your room at midnight and stay until 2 in the morning. Yeah, he is. He smiles for a moment, then it fades into a frown. The thing is, the boy is blind. I get very worried about him sometimes. I guess in some ways you could say I've come to see him as family. But the boy never talks about his own family. I'm not really sure about him in that aspect. But he's tough, that's for sure. You tried to feign surprise at your father's words. He's blind? Really? It really is too bad. It happened to be an accident. You fake surprise sends to an actual concern. What kind of accident? You weren't too sure if Kay would appreciate you talking about him like this, but you wanted to know. What happened exactly? Your father's frown grows, which was something that seemed to happen often when he was in a comfortable situation. He starts talking again, a few moments of silence. Kay doesn't like to talk about it. He glances at the clock. Besides, my show's about to start. I like to watch Wheel of Fortune before bed. You nod. He loves his game shows. Standing up from the table, you take your plate over to the sink. About to head to your room when he calls you out to you suddenly. You turn towards him and notice he seems to be intentionally not making eye contact with you. I prefer it if you didn't talk to Kay too much. I'm afraid he might tell you something that you don't want to know right now. The words startle you a bit. Somehow you had a feeling it would be the best not to follow through with this warning. Kate obviously knew a lot about you, and at some point you would need to know these things. And you're sure you wouldn't be getting information from your dad. I won't. You had no qualms about lying to your father, you've done it enough times. But somehow in that lie felt wrong. Wanted to get away from the tension. You head up to your room to check out your laptop before bed. The next morning you eat breakfast quickly before heading out. You still feel tension from your father and it made you nervous. You end up getting to school early, and you're wondering what to do with your time when you notice Shannon standing next to the doors to the school. Shannon hated school, but was usually punctual nonetheless. Still, it was early, even for her to be here. Then you notice she is with someone else, someone you recognize. Dustin, her new boyfriend. Approach and talk anyway. Decides to approach Shannon anyway, and you got there just in time to see the two kissing. Shannon moved quickly with her boys as usual. You ignore the awkwardness and greet your best friend. Shannon, good morning. Dana, hey. Turns away from her boyfriend and grins at you happily. You can always count on Shannon to make you feel welcome, even if you are not intruding, even if you are intruding. He walks over to you and puts an arm around you, as if proving to Justin that you're her number one. You blush slightly. Shannon, what a sweet girl. Shannon was over at my house the other day, asking about mutant humans. She took it a bit clearly meaning to say it as a joke, but you can't help but feel a bit defensive. You had been serious when you asked her, but you couldn't admit it. Mutant humans? Looks at you a bit odd, with an odd look on his face. He clearly isn't the sci-fi fan either, perfect for Shannon. Shannon meets him at Glare. Hey, don't look at Xani like that. She has a weird taste in movies, but she's still my best friend. Thanks, Shannon. You're grateful that she could stand up for you, but you don't like her fighting your battles. Shannon puts another arm around you, pulling you into a hug. Come on, Xani, smile a little. You always look so serious. I am serious. Yeah, you look better when you smile. She releases you and puts her hand on your face, pinching your cheeks into a smile. See, that's better. To Shannon. You work her hands away and take a deep step back, face flushed. She laughs and you sigh softly. Sometimes you're unsure if Shannon means something by her teasing, if she's just enjoyed seeing you flustered, or if it doesn't realize she's a nuisance in her own in the first place. You glance over at Justin, notice that he's looking a bit uncomfortable. You get an impression that he doesn't like you very much. Well, I'm gonna head to get ready to head to class now. Bye, Shannon. See you later. Bye, Dusty. You pats his shoulder and you nod to him as he leaves. Isn't he nice? He's so cute. Yeah, sure. You don't want to burst Shannon's bubble. She sees things from a positive perspective at times, and that's part of her charm. Suddenly the bell rings. You've been standing outside chatting for a while, and class is going to be starting soon. You head inside with Shannon. You turn into your art assignment, and your teacher's impressed with how well it turned out. You can't help but smile a bit when she praises you. Art is one of the things you feel tempted about. In history, you've gotten some free time to work on your bonus assignments, your family history. You tend to write about things for a bit while siding at the fact that you know nothing about your family aside from what your father has told you. Is it really true? It couldn't be, right? There's just no way. You think about it, and the more you think about it, the more conflicted you feel. It would have been for the best if your father hadn't told you these things. Maybe he was right. Maybe it was the wrong time. But if you hadn't learned about it, you may have not met Kay, and you may be in danger either way. There was just so much on your mind. When you got home, your father had already made a meal. You figured this would be a very good time to ask him some things about your mutation, assuming it is real, that is. After welcoming you home and leading you to the table in the kitchen, you see he's gone out for this meal. Maybe he's really trying to improve your relationship. You feel a twinge of guilt at your past hostility towards him. Maybe there was more to the situation you first thought after all. If what your father said is true, you may have a good reason for not being there when you were a kid. Maybe. You sigh. Your father isn't the best cook in the world, but he tries his best nonetheless. You sit down across the table from him. Dad? I actually have a question I'd like to ask you. He looks at you a bit surprised. Yes, go ahead. If what you've been telling me about myself and my family history is true, what's the difference between a real human and myself? The part of his face grows. There are many differences. I assume you have noticed at least one by now. You shake your head. I don't see any differences. Well, you'll find out sooner or later. You get the feeling that he's avoiding the question. No, he's definitely avoiding the question. One of my shows is on. I'm gonna go and watch it. He picks up his plate and plate of food and comes into the living room, looking slightly panicked. Weird. Decide to ignore it for now and continue eating your food. That night, Kay came again, and the next night and the night after that. Each night you discuss things quietly, being careful not to be wake up your father. Sometimes related to your mutation, sometimes just random chatter. Over time, Kay became to teach you things. One of these things were a difference between yourselves and regular humans. Your eyes, you found out, were very different. Kay commented that while he wasn't able to see at all, you were able to see things you might not be able to supposed to see. The basis of it was that you could read people's hearts. You didn't notice any of the things Kay noticed: the superior strength, the telepathy, the telekinesis. This one, once you learned about it, was something you immediately were able to figure out how to do. It wasn't a scale light to dark as much as fiction light to portray the goodness of the heart. Rather, it's more of a scale closer to red or green, if it had to be compared to colour at all. It was unlike anything you had ever seen before. When you closed your eyes, it was like you had a second set of eyelids that would be opened up and an aura would surround the person in front of you. One side of the scale was goodness and one side was bad. That's how the kid was how this was possible. He didn't know. One day you tried to look at yourself in the mirror and see what you could notice for yourself. But it didn't work. There was no strange colour, maybe it didn't work in reflections. Another night you tried it on Kay, though secretly as not to offend him. It was a bit shocking just how pure his heart was. It was truly good. He was a truly good person. I wondered if he knew himself how good he was. You did notice, however, that when you tried to read his heart, he shifted uncomfortably. It was almost as if he could sense what you were doing. How did you even know about these things? You asked him that one night. I listened in on Gray talking and learned whatever I could. And why he doesn't tell me these things himself? Why do I have to learn from you? What is he hiding? I don't know. You suspect the answer, Gray. If I was hiding things that you didn't know why. Did he know something scary? Something that would hurt you? He must have had some reason, right? Kay, how does this Jasper person know about me? He thinks for a moment. If I were to guess, I'd say that he's one of the descendants of the scientists who created your mutation. Not the good ones. Not the ones that were willing to protect your mutation. But the ones that deemed the project a complete failure and decided to have the patients euthanized. Whatever the reason, he's dangerous. He wants you dead. A chill ran through you. Dead. Kay. If that's how Jasper knows about me, then how do you know about me? Kay seems a bit surprised at your question. I know from people. I know because I joined Gray's group. I didn't answer your question. What had your father said? That you didn't even know Kay what? What had your father said? That even he didn't know how Kay knows? Why was everyone hiding things from you? Either way, we're here to protect you. Kay continues on, apparently not bothered by the fact that he hadn't answered your question. We will look after you. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. He smiled at you, a soft, kind smile. You want to sigh, but you don't want Kay to notice you're bothered by his lack of answers. I'm getting tired, I want to head to bed. Do you mind heading out now? Huh? Sorry, I don't feel like talking anymore. I understand. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, see ya. You watched Kay leave and wonder why you pushed him away so quickly. A twinge of regret pulled at you. Oh well. You apologize to him tomorrow night. The thing is, he didn't come back that night. You wait and wait and wait. You glance at your clock. It's already 3 AM. You're tired. You know this isn't good for you. Lay your head down on your pillow. I'll wake up when he gets here. But he didn't come. That night or the next. Or the next after that. You kept yourself up late for several nights in a row waiting for him. But still, he never came. It's Sunday morning. You have better thing to do this morning than have a long conversation with your father. You're lacking in sleep, tired and worried about Kay. You have plans to meet with Xani later today. He calls out to you suddenly. You like living here, girl? I guess so. Why do you ask? You're going to be living somewhere else soon. This catches your attention. What? Why? It was for your mother's wish to stay here with me, but Kay has recently disappeared. He really has disappeared. It has made me a bit worried. We've been thinking of every possibility for this, and in this worst possible situation, we think it'd be best if you went somewhere else, just in case Jasper knows your whereabouts. This way you're safer. What? What could have happened to Kay? We don't know. He suddenly didn't show up to the meeting place one day. It's been almost a week now since we last saw him. We've seen no sign of him returning. We don't know what to do. We're in a bit of a panic. Dad, how could Jasper have found me? We don't know exactly. We believe he has some sort of power. This is speculation. We believe he may have something. He may be something like you, a mutant. He's a mutant too? How? It is almost impossible that every member of your family would be wiped out easily. We think there is high possibility that the scientist whose son was killed continued research separately to get his revenge. It's a complicated situation, but we know Jasper is dangerous. None of us have seen him. We don't know his name. We don't know what kind of person he is. We don't know anything. He looks down, seemingly distressed. You're in this much danger? Why hadn't he told you sooner? So we know he has some sort of power. No. Like I said before, it's just speculation. It could be nothing. It could be a regular human. We don't know. Your father seems immensely troubled. So where will I be living on now? Do you remember Lena? She was your babysitter when you were a kid, I've heard. This brightened your mood a bit. Lena? You haven't heard from her since your mother's funeral. Of course I remember her. She was so nice to me. That's great. We could have contacted her and she's happy to be able to receive you. Oh, don't worry. We'll move everything from your bedroom here to your new one at her place. He smiles a bit, and you tell her, and you can tell he's trying to cheer you up. Wait, does that mean he knows about me? She knows about me being a mutant? The smile fades a bit. No. We have to keep it a secret. But I promise, she is someone you can trust. Where does she live now? In Parathon? It's about a 45-minute drive. Xani, I can't stress enough how important it is that you keep your identity a secret. That includes keeping it a secret where you live. You can't tell anyone where you're going. Anyone could be at risk. Shannon immediately pops into your head. You can't just leave Shannon behind, right? Who has been there for you? You can't imagine being without her at this point. The thought of having her in your life anymore is rather scary, actually. You promise you won't tell anyone? I promise. How long is this demo? You head over to Shannon's house. You're not sure how you break the news to her about you moving. You're probably going to take it pretty hard. She doesn't like things not going her way. Sighing, you walk past her place. Huh? Someone catches your eye. You turn to face him and see a boy about your height, rather skinny, leaning against the street lamps. He wears a red hoodie and has bright coloured hair. Normally you wouldn't even notice him standing across the street from you. But he seems to be staring at you. Why is he looking at me? Quickly the boy looks away. He starts walking swiftly down the street in the opposite direction as you. Weird. You ignore it for now, continue on to Shannon's house. Danny, I have good news, really good news. What is it? Okay, so don't freak out. But Dustin broke up with me. Wait, that's good news? Duh. Dustin was being the jerk. Every time I talked to one of my friends, he got jealous and upset. So clingy. Weird. It was annoying. I told him I'm bored of this and he broke up with me. I was so relieved I didn't have to break up with him myself. I'm glad things worked out the way you want them to, Shannon. You smiled at her. They weren't much in the mood for chat after your father's news today. So, what's going on with you? She leans in eagerly, excited to hear what you have to say. We're gonna have to. You may as well tell her now. Shannon, I'm moving. You're moving? Where? Remember your father's words, you can't tell anyone where you're going. Well, this is Shannon. Surely be okay to tell her, if anyone. So something holds you back. To another town. I might not be able to see you for a while. Shannon notices your sadness and puts an arm around you. It feels like she senses more than just a sudden move, but she decides to not to press you to tell her. That's just how Shannon is. She always looks out for your feelings. I'm sorry. I hope that you end up being happy where you move to, though. Pretty clear her smile is forced, but she smiles nonetheless. I'll try to be. Give her a weak smile. I'll miss you, Shannon. I'll miss you too. You're on your way home from Shannon's place. About 2 blocks from your house, so at least it is your home for now. When something pounds into you from behind. Oof. You fall over looking at the attacker in surprise. Hey! It's that boy before. The one you saw on the way to Shannon's. He's looking down at you surprised. Look at his face, he seems troubled. Ah, it's you. What do you mean? I'm sure I saw you earlier on my way. I'm positive I saw you across the street. Why are you watching me? I'm not. You clearly are. I'm not stupid. I've seen you twice today hanging around watching me. No, you misunderstand, I swear, this isn't what it looks like. I'm Clive. I just moved in this area, been exploring. His words come out quickly as though he's nervous. Whether he's nervous because that's just how he is, or because he's a suspicious person, you're not sure. Sorry, I was watching you. I'm sorry for knocking you over too. I was coming around the corner so fast I didn't see you. I like to jog. Since I've seen you twice now, can I assume you live around here? I just moved here. I do. I'm moving soon though, so you won't see me around too much after tomorrow. Oh, sorry, my bad. Why are you moving? No, it's really in his business, but why? Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to go to my home now. Good night. Yeah, good night. Why the fuck did you tell him that for? The weird boy Clive scampers off down the street at a quick pace. You watch him leave, then turn back to walk to your own home. You're a fucking moron. The idea occurs to you suddenly the night in bed. You'd be moving tomorrow, and you'd be up early, but you couldn't sleep. If Kay found his way into your what? If Kay found his way to you in the dark, maybe somehow, just maybe, you could find your way to him. It was a long shot. No, it's about the stupid idea if I hadn't had in retrospect. Why on earth in this idea I'm getting tired. But you are determined. You find Kay before you get shipped off to somewhere else. This could be your last chance, so to see him again. If you end up somewhere else, how will he find you? The rational part of your mind tells you that he'd approach your father. Now to find a way to contact you in your own home. The rational part is telling you to leave out of your window and try to find him. It's just so dumb. Why are you listening to this crazy idea? But you do. You open your window door, head to the balcony, and then climb over it and plop down to the ground. You're about halfway to the corner of your city of the block when you realize what exactly you're doing. You're outside in the middle of the night, searching for a boy that your father couldn't find. What were you thinking? Where were you going? Were you going crazy? Then you see something ahead. A person? Why is someone else walking around this late? He's walking towards you. Now don't freak out, he's probably just going to pass by. But he didn't. You feel yourself freeze in the spot. Why can't I move? Your heart begins to pound, and the person inches closer and closer. Oh. The next instant, the person has disappeared, and you hear a chilling voice next to your ear. Okay, this is the guy we need to avoid. He knows. He knows who you are. This couldn't be. Who are you? The man circles around you, until he comes back to you, face you from the front again.
The name
What have I done to you? Desperately tries to move to run, to get away from here, but nothing works. You see him reach for something. Your eyes widen. A knife? No, this can't be happening. With a smirk, the man takes a step forward, closer, and the knife plunges into your stomach. His face staring down at you is the very last thing you see. Fuck this Jasper guy. Xana, my darling. Sweet Xana. Your journey will continue soon. Please, collect the fragments. You feel a strange sensation almost crashing through your body. It hurts. Hurts. It's being ripped apart. Your chest aches as though one part of you is striking while another is lifted up forcefully. The pain is almost beyond decipher. Being ripped, torn, shredded, over and over and over again. There are a few moments where the pain stops, like you're being reconstructed. These parts ripped away are sewn together again. Then they ripped apart once more. And the pain is even worse than last time. Shattering. Amidst the blackness, you feel yourself floating. A reprieve from the pain before you appears. What is this? Colors? Shapes? Guess assuming these are the fragments then. You can't discern what this shape is feeling. It's a multitude of emotions. Thoughts contained in this shape, but it's still jumbled to tell one from another. The shape is screaming, over and over and over again. Not crying, not hurt, just deafening scream. Will you grab this one? Well, I've got to grab one of them. Very well then. Okay, I've got to choose one of these. I like the colour red, so I'm going to go for that one. This one feels been tainted by something. A stain that is eating away the shape of its core. It's almost like this shape is suffocating. We grab this one? No. This one feels excitable, in the happy-go-lucky kind of way. There's a sense of longing in the shape, calling out, almost crying despite the happy sensation in its center. Why does it feel like happiness is fake somehow? Will you grab this one? Okay, let's see what the other one says. This one feels happy, warm, feel like it's calling to you. You sense that whatever this shape contains, at the center is love. A soft love, gentle, but with something underneath that. You grab this one? That sounds pleasurable. Xana, I'm so sorry. That voice, is that Shannon? I'm so sorry this has happened to you. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, I promise. Why is she apologizing? What is she apologizing for? She didn't do anything wrong, did she? You open your eyes and Shannon turns over to you. Ah, thank God you're awake. I've been so worried about you. Where exactly am I? Oh, you must be still disorientated. Not totally sure what happened to you, but I heard it was pretty intense. You got a really bad cut in your stomach. That's right, you were stabbed. You're starting to come back to me now. You snuck out and then, why'd you sneak out? What were you thinking? It was like you were hypnotized. That person who stabbed you, it was really Jasper in person you've been warned about. I'm so sorry. This happened the night you left, didn't I? I keep thinking that things could have been different if I'd asked you to stay overnight, or done something differently. No, Shannon, this isn't your fault. Maybe, but I still feel bad. I'm sorry. I wish I could do something to help you. Are you in pain? Truth be told, you are, but it's mostly a dull ache, probably because of whatever medication you've been given is through your IV. We don't want to let Shannon know. She'd make a big deal of it and you'd feel guilty. Now I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, if you say so. Do you want anything? If you want me to get something for you, please let me know. I'll be here the whole time if you're here at the hospital. No, really, I'm alright, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. You must be tired. I'll let you get some rest. I'll be here again tomorrow. This places a hand on your cheek, and you close your eyes. Sleep well. Okay. When you wake up again, you're sitting in the hospital bed. That's to be expected though, considering the event that brought you here. You were stabbed. It's almost amazing you're alive. In the quiet hospital room, you begin to wonder what the events leading up to this moment. You remember being stabbed, and it's easy enough to assume you passed out after that. But you can't recall anything else. Who found you? How'd you get here? Did your father know where you were? Oh crap, your father. He's probably in a panic now. As if on cue, the door suddenly slams open and you're greeted by the very anxious look and expression your father is wearing. You're awake. Thank God, thank God. He sounds truly relieved as he approaches you. He sits down in the chair next to your hospital bed and looks you over up and down. Are you in a lot of pain? You're sitting up a bit. That's definitely an improvement from last time I came. What am I saying? Of course you're in pain, but that aside, girl. What in the world happened to you? It was Jasper. I knew it. How? How did he find you? I felt like I was being drawn out of my room by some weird force. I just suddenly couldn't make irrational decisions, I guess. I left. I know I wasn't safe to do that, but I left the house, through my window, and that's how Jasper caught me. I'm sorry. Sorry? Girl, no, this is not your fault. Not by any means. If it's anyone's fault, it's mine. I should have protected you better. Right off the bat, I should have moved you to Pirathon. I'm the one who's sorry, girl. I let you down. No, you didn't. You didn't let me down. I guess we're at a stalemate. I don't think you should blame yourself, and I don't think I should blame myself. I guess we'll just agree to disagree. Ha! Your father lets out a little chuckle. Very well then. Your father's expression grows more serious. If indeed Jasper has powers similar to yours, this could be one of them. That's extremely worrying, though. Powers we knew, but mind control of some sorts? That makes this more dangerous than we previously thought. He has a point. Mind control would explain that compulsion you felt to leave your room, and the fact you couldn't run no matter how hard you tried. But if that's true, why hasn't he used it before? Why did he wait until now to show off the power he has? If it was that easy, he could have killed you any time. He could have killed you before he even knew about your powers. That you wouldn't stand a chance. Then why? Questions swim around through your mind, and you struggle to focus on one topic. There's too much going on. Your head hurts. Maybe from being injured. Maybe from the headache of figuring out what in the world is going on. Your father seems to sense your confusion. He reaches his hand down and pats you on the shoulder. Instinctively you flinch away at his touch, and then wince at the pain from your injury. Flares at the sudden movement. I'm sorry. I truly am so sorry. I'm a failure not only as a father but as a man. I failed your mother by leaving. I failed you at the same time. I thought I was doing what was best for both of you, but instead, all I've done is hurt you, haven't I, girl? Never heard this sound so sad. The way his hand shakes so slightly as he clutches his knees, digging his fingers in hard enough that he will surely leave a bruise. You really do regret it all, don't you? More than anything else. I wish I had been there to help you grow as a person, and had to teach you along the way. I have to ask you something. Did you always know about Mom not being fully human? Not always, no. After she got pregnant with you, that was when she told me everything. I was shocked, and thought for sure she was joking. I remember laughing at her, not because I hated her, but because I thought it was impossible. Proof to me that I was wrong that night in the dream. A dream that was vivid. And that dream looked like her real world self. But something was different. Something was more powerful. She demonstrated things to me that I didn't believe could happen. Wait, so she never showed you these things outside of your dream? No, she didn't. She was too scared if I did. She would accidentally bring attention to herself and to you. She wants to protect you more than anything. But the dream was real, and I believed her without a doubt. We began meeting up in our dreams nightly, where she would share information and share stories about her family history with me. I could hardly believe it, but I did in the end. One night she warned me in the clear terms that would happen if you were found by her family's enemies. And I decided I needed to protect you, no matter what. I left and joined with a small group of others who knew about all of this. Why did you possibly think about leaving was the best way to protect us? I thought I knew too much, I'm just a human, I have no powers. I thought if I stayed away, at least my knowledge can be put to use without being there as a potential risk. What would happen if someone tried to get information out of me about after your mother died? I stayed away because I was afraid of what I might do in a situation like that. The explanation makes sense. You can't rationally blame him for what he did. irrationally, as he abandoned his daughter, he most certainly had can hold a grudge. I just wish it had been even for little parts of my upbringing, even for the littlest parts of my upbringing. I know. I'm sorry. You almost want to console him, but something holds you back. Maybe you just aren't ready for it yet. Even after hearing all what happened, all you can do is stare at your father as he closes his eyes in sorrow. Yeah, man. After a long while sitting in silence, your father fell back in the sound sleep. The sleep was strange. It was like something or someone was trying to speak to you, but couldn't get through. When you wake up again, you sit in the hospital bed. Someone's sitting at your side, but it isn't your father, it's Shannon. Shannon? You exclaim her name in surprise. Xani, Xani. She starts to tear up as she looks at you. She seems to be holding back the urge to hug you with all of her might, knowing that doing so would only make your body sore feel worse. Shannon, what are you doing here? You're my best friend, of course I'm going to be here in the hospital. How did you know I was here? Did my father call you? Oh no, some guy with red hair told me you were here. Okay. It wasn't someone I'd ever met before. I can't have someone say, hey, your best friend got stabbed, and not at least come check in and see if it's true. If it's true, oh Xani, I'm so sorry, this happened to you. A boy with red hair. It couldn't mean Kay, could she? Do you have any idea? Do you know any other guys with red hair? Nothing comes to mind but Kay. If it was him now? Did the boy mention his name? You asked quite a bit instantly than you meant to, which makes Shannon back. No, I don't think so. Why, what's wrong? No, it's nothing, don't worry. You soften your face so that you don't frighten Shannon again. Thank you for coming to visit me. Of course. I'm going to bring you as a stuffed animal. That one matches mine, but your dad wouldn't let me. He pouts a bit. You've spoken to my dad? A little bit. I ran to tell him what happened after I made it sure it was true. But that weirdo told me you're not allowed to have toys in the hospital. As if that's true. I'm not that dumb. Even though no kids get toys and flowers and candy in the hospital all the time. I'm not a kid though. Who cares? I know you still love that stuffy. You're all big and tough, but you're just a cute little softie, right? You feel your cheeks go a bit red with embarrassment. Normally you protest. If it was anyone besides Shannon who said that, she knows you too well. Her smile is like a sunshine. Shannon, your best friend in the whole world, who has been there for you thick and thin. Why are you staring at me, silly? I wasn't. You were so. Thinking about what cutie your BFF is. You're adorable. Yeah, fine, admit it, you're adorable, Shannon. I knew it. You should be honest more often, you know. You look better without that, dreary look on your face. Do I look that dreary? Yeah, yeah, you frown and look up and down at your feet all the time. You barely make eye contact with anyone else besides me. You'd totally be a popular girl if you just be more normal, let more people in. That's not true. I'm not like you. I can't just smile at everyone I meet and expect them to like me. It's just isn't who I am. Xani. Well, whatever. Let's talk about something else, okay? I kind of want to ask about what happened, but I don't do good with gore. I don't really want to know the details. So if it's okay, I'm just gonna be glad you're safe. That's fine. Now, so like Shannon, she worries but doesn't know what caused the situation she's worried about, because she's happy to be oblivious to anything that she dislikes. But in the end, that's just another thing you find sweet about her. After a while, Shannon leaves to let you get some rest. The rest only lasts a few moments, but your father comes back though. Ah, girl, you up? Good. I was just about to close my eyes. No time for that, you're being released from the hospital. What? So soon? Not even fully healed. I want to live with you. I don't think it's safe for you to stay in this place any longer. Don't worry, I picked up your prescription for pain meds, and the doctor gave me a note with instructions for you to give to Lana on how to change the bandages. You can't stop your face from lighting up a bit. I'm going to see Lana's? If that's the case, maybe leaving the hospital isn't so bad. Oh wait, can I say goodbye to Shannon first? No, I'm sorry. Why not? I need to get you out of here as soon as possible. I'm not going to give out any more chances for you to get hurt. So we're going now. Alright. You're quickly told to get your stuff together. Your father leads you out of the room and down the hallway, using his arm to steady you as you walk. There's still quite a bit of pain, but it's not as bad as you thought. Not as bad as you thought it would be. Whatever they did to help with the stab wound apparently worked really. Either that or the pain meds are just really strong. Weird place to put full stop. You get in your father's car and head off to Pitharam. Okay. Back at the hospital. Dot to dot. You knock the front door. Oh hey, Xana. Lana. She looks so similar to the way she did when she used to babysit you. Everything from the wired hair to the cutest style of clothing. So glad to see you, kiddo. You couldn't believe how much I missed you. You really missed me that much? Oh yeah, I did. You're my little partner in crime, right? There better be no crimes going on. Line up, Grey, that's just a joke. I'm really glad you made it here safe. You feeling okay? You look a little pale. But I say there's still a spark in your eyes, am I right? You bet. That's my kiddo. A trooper, this one. I guess I'll just leave you two to get reacquainted then. Yeah, just leave it to me from here. See you, Grey. Waves goodbye. You don't know whether or not you should do the same. Your father catches your eye for a moment. A knowing look on his face. He nods to you. Take care, girl. Yeah, I will. He opens the car door and gets inside. As he prepares to drive away, he looks back at you one more time. It's as if his expression in his face, I'll miss you, girl. That's sad, man. Lana leads you inside the home. Well, here it is, your new home. Look around the place, it's so empty. Lana was never a very good cleaner, so the almost empty living room makes it feel sort of eerie. Come on, don't look at my place like that, you're gonna hurt my feelings. You know how it is, you grow up, you gotta learn to clean up after yourself. Want me to show you to your room? You nod. Sure. Leads you up the stairs. Each step you climb makes you feel a twinge in your pain, but it's not unbearable, so you keep going. The second story of the house looks much nicer than downstairs. Up here it looks almost like it's been lived in, at least. You know, I can't speak now. You know, your new room is on the higher floor. So not go getting any ideas about sneaking out the window again, huh? Lana winks at you. She might have heard about what happened. I won't. Bit weird that our room looks exactly the same. Ta-da! Here it is. Look around, it's pretty much similar to your old room at your father's house. All of your stuff has been moved here already, including your bedding and laptop. In some ways you're surprised that your father even let you have a laptop with how cautious he's been. It was probably Lana who talked him into letting you but bring it. So, look like home? Yeah. Thank you for having me, Lana. No problem at all, kiddo. I'm always happy to be with my little buddy. Give off her hair like she would do as a kid. Hey, I'm not a baby anymore. You're still my kiddo though. Her bright, happy smile makes you feel at ease. Are you hungry? A little bit. I'm still kind of sore in my stomach. I made something easy to eat then. How about some fish soup? I guess that's okay. Alright, I'll call you down when it's ready. Lana heads to the room and closes the door behind her. You sit down on the bed, look around for a bit. You're safe, right? The thought of what happened makes your stomach twist, and you grab the pillow from your bed to squeeze and calm you down. Is this what they call PTSD? Speaking of pillows, where's your stuffed animal? Did your father forget to move it here? It'd be comforting to hug it right now. You miss Shannon already. How are you going to make new friends? Shannon was always the one that you turned to when you wanted someone to talk to. Is it even possible for someone to let you meet new people? You glance over at the laptop. Well, you've never had a big social media presence. You could at least message Shannon. That'd be a bit okay. You wonder for a moment if it's been best to try find some way to block your IP, but shake the thought, you're getting as paranoid as your father. Grabbing the laptop, you might enter the password and then search up Shannon's name on the website she uses the most. You find her quickly. A profile picture pops up and makes you smile. Her grin, the stereotypical peace signs she's doing in the picture are so her. You type a message to her. Hey Shannon, it's me. I'm really sorry I left without saying goodbye. I got moved really suddenly. Hope you're doing well. Send. Wait for a few minutes and Shannon's stage turns to green, showing her she's online. She might have gotten a notification you messaged her. Xana, hey! Girl, I'm fine. You haven't been on a day yet? I'm not that hopeless about you, but I miss you. By the way, before I knew you left, I went and stole your stuffy from your house. I was gonna sneak it to the hospital for you, but I guess now I have to keep him hostage until you give me your new address. You smile as she sends her message after message. That's why your stuffed animal isn't here. I'm sorry. I can't give you my new address. I figured out a way for us to hang out sometime though. Ah, meanie. Fine, keep in touch. I'll get some chores done. See ya. Her status gets set to her way. She's such a busy girl. She's always has something going on. And if it's not socializing with someone, she'll have something. Cooking, baking, cleaning, sewing. She has enough hobbies to keep a whole army busy, but sometimes it still feels good, but it isn't enough for her. Shannon loves to be busy. You shut down your laptop and lay back in your bed. Ah, you're tired. Lana hasn't called you down for a meal yet, so maybe a little nap wouldn't hurt. You close your eyes and let sleep take over. Okay, so the guy who had black hair. Realize this is useless in the end, don't you? Indio? Why did you even bother? I don't know that you're capable of showing compassion and empathy. What an idiot, a damn fool. You've been pathetic, pretending that these emotions matter. This voice, you've never heard it before. Who? Continue struggling, continue collecting your fragments, continue amusing me. Okay. Bit of a fucking weirdo. Reaching the section of the demo, okay. You reached the end of the section of this demo. So is going to be more extension onto the demo eventually. Just to be taken back to the root screen? Yeah, sure, why not? Returning. You feel a strange sensation almost crashing through your body. It hurts. Hurts like being ripped apart. Okay. I wonder, do these give different stories? It seems to be rejecting you, won't let you grab a hold of it. It seems a strange sensation was crashing through your body. It hurt. Okay. Oh shit, I've done this one. Before I end it entirely, I'm gonna get through all this again and make sure the other ones don't actually have another extension onto it. Xana, I'm so sorry. You hear a voice calling out to you. Who is that? The voice sounds familiar, but who is it? It just won't... Wait, I remember now. I met Jasper. Am I alive? Where am I? What's going on? You open your eyes to find you in bed in the unfamiliar room. Bed is slightly uncomfortable and you shift your body that feels numb. Xana, thank goodness. You hear your father's voice. It's... Dad? You manage to croak out a few words. Where am I? You're in hospital. You're badly wounded. Do you remember anything that happened? Okay, so these spirits things leads to a different part of the game. So I'm gonna be ending this one here and continue on in the next episode because this is one's been going on for a little while now. So hopefully you enjoyed this part of the demo. I'll definitely continue it in the next little bit I can do. If you guys want to see more, hopefully leave a like on the videos. It really helps me out greatly. That being said, take care guys. Thank you so much for watching.